Colin Brennan here from Games, Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short. And it's battle reaction time. Brennan's nomination. We're halfway through the year, leading to the end. We're going to add up those scores and deliver the other person a prize. At the moment, I think you've got like a 2-point lead. And based off, we're doing a recording session of a collection of videos. And based off some of my choices, I'm not feeling confident that this will last. However, based off this one, I'm intrigued. Explain.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think just as we said in some of the videos before, because of the styles of music that we listen to, sometimes I struggle with it because I write down these songs and I'm just like, he's gonna like all of these. He may not have heard them, or he may have, but I know he's gonna like that. I know he's gonna like that, and there's no real challenge to it. And then I thought, what greater challenge than a song that I do like and I actually think is a very good cover of it, but by doing a song that I know that you do have a lot of love for, by a band that you don't have necessarily the same amount of love and adoration for. So I thought, like, yeah, that's a nice challenging one. But you know, I'm not doing it just for a gimmick, because I do actually think this is I do think it's a good cover of a very good song. And also I think this was done for like a military charity and all that sort of stuff. So like they kind of have a video that kind of goes alongside with it and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so Five Finger Death Punch doing the Offspring's Gone Away. Yeah. I said the ball had bring it in. I thought you kind of got double critical angle to come out of it. One from like, do you actually enjoy what they do with it as a song? But obviously you're naturally going to compare, you know. So I thought, yeah, there we go. That's a bit of a challenge.
It is. Yeah, because you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. Maybe a little bit too light on my dislike of Five Finger Death Punches. I think they're shockingly overrated. And have rarely pulled anything out that I would think was good, let alone great. But obviously, we've Gone Away. The Offspring has Gone Away. I think that is an incredible song, and unique thing early on in their career. I'm 99% sure I've never heard this track before. I know of it because I know you mentioned it in a video we did way long ago, and I remember at the time being surprised that existed. Yeah. So and I certainly didn't follow up and go online afterwards to check it out. I probably wouldn't have bothered because I'd have still been like, well, it's Five Finger Death Punch. And a metalled up, and a metalled up version of it doesn't appeal. Like, I'm like, the whole appeal of Gone Away is that it doesn't need guttural vocals and shit like that.
Yeah. But like I said, like, you know, that's the challenge in it from my side of it. You know, I love the original, but I think this is actually a very, very well done version of it, which surprised me because I also have very little love for Five Finger Death Punch as well. So, which is why, I thought it was quite an interesting one to figure out. I just noticed how many views it's had on YouTube. I was like, that's fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost 100,000. I kind of get that in a way
almost,
as well.
Almost 100 million. It's 99,758,917 views.
It is, isn't it? I'm looking at it thinking, no, it's not that much.
Yeah.
I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, look at the digits.
Which is like, fuck, wow. They've only got 3.7 million subscribers, so the Offspring fans have replayed this one a bit.
Okay, all right. Well, if that's the case, then let's do this. Let's see what I think. 3, 2, 1, go. I wonder if, because this has got a military angle, as you said, if that has an appeal to just military obsessives.
Yeah.
3 KIA. That is confirmed. 3 KIA.
Maybe in another life I could find you there, pulled away before your time. I can't deal, it's so unfair, and it feels like heaven's so far away.
Hold it in.
And it feels like the world has grown cold now that you've gone away. Roses far away.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I almost wish he hadn't chosen this one, and that's simply because I feel like I inevitably have to tiptoe carefully over things in regards to this, because ultimately it was exactly what I expected it and exactly what I thought it might be, which was obviously a heavily leaning tribute to military troops, American military troops. And one look at the comments will tell you its impact on that side of things. In fact, I'd argue by looking at the first 30 to 40 comments, there's nothing really about the music, like about the song. It's about how it made that person feel in regards to their own experiences of military life, loss of people and stuff like that. On that front, I can't complain. I mean, not complain. I mean, I can't say anything negative, because ultimately music is supposed to make you feel. So if it creates this connection with anyone, even if the imagery and what they're trying to get across is so what I would call ham-fisted, that I think you'd have to be an idiot to not be able to take something away from that. I'm not a military person in any way, shape or form. I approach Americans, because bear in mind we're British, I approach Americans, hoorah, military, adoration with a sense of cynicism to a certain degree, but I can respect and admire what other people are getting from this, even if I don't necessarily connect to have the emotional value of it. Of course, however, being British, of course, as well, we have our own militaristic history going back towards world wars and stuff like that. That ultimately, if I imagine this song was done, but was done from that angle, for like in that sense, where it was like that I would certainly probably have maybe feel a bit more of a connection to it than that way. Think Sabaton's Christmas Day song, whatever, like as a good example of your Christmas truce, as an example of something like that. So I'm not running that aspect down at all. It's harder for me to connect with. I almost feel like laughing and being like, calm it down, guys, you're doing the imagery too much. But then I think it's supposed to be, and I completely understand that. So I'm not faulting the video, and I'm certainly love the fact that for all those people in the comments, for all those people that have viewed it, to all those people that have heard it, who may never even listen to rock and metal and all that, have heard this song by a metal band and gone, oh, that makes me emotional because it reminds me of my lost parent, my lost brother, sister, friend, whatever, and so on, that kind of thing. And you feel like it's a tribute to that. That is simply wonderful. That makes the song alone worth existing. However, ultimately, this is our thoughts about the musical side of things. That is what it is mostly. Well, that's a part of what it comes down to, because ultimately, if I was to weigh it up on what I've just said there, then it's an instant win. However, I'm going to also bring in what I think is how it sounds, the music comparisons to the cover, just that part of it. Then the simple answer is I fucking hated it. I hated it. That is it. It's two massive things. I hated the overt way it felt even more melodramatic than the Offsprings, but also I hated the fact that at no point did his voice ever really reach a specific eye. I'm not asking for a copy of the Offsprings. Of course not. I think that's actually impossible, because Dexter has quite a unique voice. And at that age, he was hitting highs in the chorus that I don't think many people would be capable of doing. I don't want a copy, the song should be its own version while also sounding like the original. But what this own version is, I found to be quite overtly bland and boring more than anything else. And I think without the imagery and without the story, I imagine if that was just a cover released without any relevancy, I'd imagine that most people would just pass it by and go, it's that kind of, but because obviously all the other stuff is sort of with it, and that kind of raises it up, it really makes me feel bad to turn around and say how much I disliked it. And here's the thing, I don't think Ivan Moody, is it? It's Ivan Moody, isn't it?
That's
the
right,
vocalist, yeah. I don't think he's got a bad voice when it comes to singing in particular. I think he's got quite smooth, particularly as it's got a little bit of gravel to it as well. So, but it's in relation to how this song plays out and the fact that the tone really doesn't change that much. Even when it hits the chorus, it doesn't change that much. I found it quite monotone by the end. Yeah, I really, really fucking didn't like the song.
I mean, I had a feeling
because...
that was how it was going to play out, to be honest with you. But I wanted to put it out there because I think they do a decent version of the song. But I like the way that they've adapted. I actually like the way that they've adapted the song. So I think the song is way more somber here. But like you said, a lot to do with being coupled with the video.
Yeah.
And while the original is certainly passionate and emotional, this is a much more melodramatic kind of, curl up in a corner and cry sort of song. I like the solo in it. I think the solo is cool and adds a little bit to the song. But I do agree with you that it's the whole package. And actually, as a song on its own, I wouldn't listen to it a lot, but I really like the video. I am quite pro-military, but again, what you're saying about the American and British, obviously, I have the same thing. The connection isn't quite there, but I also quite like the story of this because I don't know, maybe unfairly, I always kind of have this opinion in my head of Five Finger Death Punch, being that term bro metal.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like you said, that hoorah, sort of like in your face, sort of proper patriotic, sort of non-stop, almost to the point of annoyance, like, and that's kind of my opinion of them, rightly or wrongly. That's just what I thought. But and when I first heard this song and I saw the video was military based, my initial impression was that this is going to be all about, look at us fucking up other people, man, blowing shit up, going around the world, kicking ass. I thought it was going to be like that. Yeah. And actually, because it tells a kind of sadder story about the loss of friends and almost the trauma he goes through. I know it's only done in snippets, but, you see him hanging out, you see things happening on the TV, you realize they're going to get called up. You see, him come back and he's on his own, the 3 wristbands for his fallen brothers. Him struggling, contemplating suicide, all that sort of. I was quite surprised, I think, that they maybe, and this might just be my lack of knowledge of them, but I was surprised that it wasn't that big in your face, bro, look at us showing our muscles off, actually, and it was a little bit more tasteful. I felt.
I think you've got a good point there, because you are right. Five Finger Death Punch are not that we think are Bromel. It's simply that it's not. We use it in a slanderous way. It is exactly what we mean by that. And while I do think ultimately the song they chose to cover meant that there was no other way you could really do this, I think what you're saying is obviously what you're saying is true. I think it's a very heartfelt, realistic, more believable take on war. This isn't a Transformers fucking video, basically. This isn't Five Finger Death Punch going, America, let's go in and take, save the world and aspects like that. And that's a good, that's no bad thing. Here's the thing, like when we do these reaction battles, we've always, obviously, we're not able to always do it based off a video, because a lot of times, for example, we just don't have a video. So it always has to come down to the song more than anything else and how that is. So this makes this one incredibly difficult, because it is
difficult. And I think, one of the biggest reasons for it, and like, I know this again sounds like I'm just like slamming Five Finger Death Punch. There's loads of bands I'm not a fan out there. I'm sure they're all fucking great. And I know Five Finger Death Punch are a big band. They've got a big fan base. They're doing very, very well with or without my support. But sometimes when you go into something and the bar is set low, and that's what I was really doing with you at the beginning as well, because that's also how I went into it. I was like, song I love, Gone Away, which is great. The Offspring version doesn't really need changing by a band I don't like who are going to make this into some big bro metal thing. So my bar was like, bar was low, man. So then when I watched the video and I listened to it, like, it's much easier to surpass expectations. So I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting this. That's pretty cool. All right, fair play. You know what I mean? So on that side of it, I was impressed. But I do get, like, when you have to also, but the point of these reactions is to separate it out and say, do you like this song? Are you going to download this song now and listen to this and show people this song and be like, hey, check this out? You know what I mean? And if you're not, then it should be a loss.
Yeah, you've nailed it. Everything like that. I will unlikely ever listen to the song again. You know, so you know, I'd be intrigued almost to take that video and take the concept and attach that to Offspring's original "Gone Away." Now, of course, I don't think it's right to do that because the meaning isn't quite the same, but it would be certainly intriguing to see if the feeling was still as strongly there, because ultimately I am also aware, Five Finger Death, we should be aware that part of the appeal for this song will come that it's come from Five Finger Death Punch, because if you're already a fan of the band and you know how pro America and pro that aspect of stuff is, and the problem with Five Finger Death Punch these days as well, from my perspective, is that their pro America stance sometimes doesn't. It's complex, put it that way. It's divisive. It's, you know, like a lot of things, it starts falling into political landscapes and sides and teams and stuff like that, and that becomes in itself its own problem. So, for example, if you hate Five Finger Death Punch based off perhaps their political leanings, you'll see a song like this, and regardless of its emotional value and tribute to the troops, you will attach it with this that side of the political spectrum. And that itself becomes another fucking problem. And I'm trying so carefully here to dance around things that, you know, stuff like that. So what you've nailed it on your head. Go back to the original point, nail it in the head. This is not going to change anything for me. This has changed nothing. If I want to listen to Gone Away, I will hit up Ixnay on a Hombre, and I will hit that one, and I love that one for everything it's got. If I stumble across this one ever again in the future, I'd probably skip it. And it changes nothing about my feelings about Five Finger Death Punch. So yes, it's not just I'm gonna go extra. It's not just a loss; it's a beating. You're beaten down with this one.
Sorry, FFDP. No,
listen, we got it. Yeah, when of course we know that's potentially what we've talked about. Hopefully, we've expressed ourselves as best we possibly can here. If it means something to you, if you've got a background that really means this connects to you, that is fantastic, and we love that, and we're proud of you, and we're proud of what you do and all that kind of thing. I don't want that to be understated. That is so fucking important. Just because we don't like this, or I don't like the song, doesn't take away from that.
It's the song you don't like. It's not the message.
Absolutely. So, you know, share your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror, and heavy metal. What else is life for?